Got one thing to add.
Good evening. My name's Craig Warburton. I live at 450 West Joy Road. I'm going to take a couple minutes, if I can, and share some thoughts about the Cobalt survey. Surely it seems like you got exactly what you paid the extra money for. That would be a survey that's predisposed to a result. And I was particularly a little concerned about the cover page because it's a little on the misleading side. Your feedback is very important. It will help the township make decisions that will have the greatest benefit to the community and help ensure that tax dollars are being spent wisely. It doesn't say, and by the way, this is 17 G's off the top that we just did 4 years ago. This is one of those news stories I think is best played very slowly. And if the cover page were to describe to someone who had no cognizance of what's going on, they would say, the master plan was approved in July of 2012. In May of 2014, one developer came asking for 9 specific parcels to be rezoned from agricultural to medium density residential. That's not 2 years old on the master plan. This month it happens to turn 3. So you've been dipping around with this for a little over a year, all about Biltmore. Why aren't you just calling this the Biltmore survey and putting an explanation on the cover page that would fill someone in that hasn't got any specific privy to it up to now? You make specific references in these questions that would make it seem like there's some urgency afoot. Item 1 includes clutter about festival and events and ignores things like preservation of open space. Item 2 infers that all the items in all the topics in item 1 aren't paid for. And here are all the options that are necessary to pay for all those wonderful things that you just selected in the item before. Raise taxes, raise fees, cut services, or sell out the ag land and divide it into little tiny pieces and develop a lot of tax dollars that way. I think that's a very cheap technique to get one answer. There's no selection there that says, we don't have to spend money for all those decisions we just made in item number 1. They don't cost anything. Item 3, what type of businesses would you like? There's no box there that says, I'd like to include those that were thoughtfully provided for in our brand new master plan, because they are brilliantly provided for in the master plan. Every form of commerce you could imagine. Item 4, how do you encourage housing? Are you going to have a special on site plans for small houses crammed together on small pieces of land? Are you going to have some kind of an advertisement that we're really looking for 2.5 acre parcels right now, don't bring us other proposals? How does the township encourage that? Item number 5. You know, you give somebody a long list of things, and the very last one is obviously the one you're after. You don't want the 5 acre parcels anymore. You don't come right out and say, the current agricultural land requires a 5 acre minimum. Should this be changed? Or should we stay with the standards in our thoughtfully prepared brand new master plan? What kind of housing what does it support? What kind of housing is needed in the township? What is that question? Who decides that? There are all kinds of exciting and altruistic. I'm going to leave that sentence alone. That gets a little too much. But number 9 includes verbiage about the school systems, and it doesn't really say, by the way, this township services 2 school systems, and anything we're talking about has nothing to do with saving Whitmore Lake. It's just a little more dough for Ann Arbor. Not one kid in the Biltmore thing is going to go to Whitmore Lake. I doubt, anyway. And it's a shame, because it's a fabulous school system. The whole survey is about number 11. And number 11 does a really fine job at trying to disguise the fact that you're talking about a couple thousand houses and not just 460. It comes right out and says you got 460 acres with lots smaller than an acre. Lots smaller than an acre is a very different description than 4 houses per acre. I look at the 80-acre farm cornfield next to my driveway right now, and I think, my God, that could be 320 homes. What a concept. I think number 13 is really cheap. You know, you disguise the fact that we have to spend $3 million right now to meet commitments with the sewer system, and you're asking them for an open-ended commitment to build whatever else Biltmore asked for. That last line should see, do you care to spend millions more for Biltmore on top of the $3 million that's going to get added to fees right now? Number 12, is this in lieu of the traffic study that you decided Biltmore shouldn't really have to pay for? Well, I don't know if that was out of the township board or if that was from the planning commission. Number 22 asks you to pick which quadrant of the township you're going to be in, and our thoughtfully prepared and really adequate master plan that's brand new has us in 5 subsections, all nicely labeled with opinions. You could answer that entire survey out of everything that's in the master plan right now. I would close with just trying to remember 3 of the bullet points that helped you all decide to hire these people at $2.75 a survey, which is a ridiculous amount of money. They help overcome community opposition. They balance the ideas of a vocal minority with the needs of the township as a whole. And they are created to address stakeholder pressures facing schools and local governments. And I dare say, you guys aren't the stakeholders here, we are. We're the one with 5-acre parcels that are going to have 30 new neighbors and see our property values drop. I urge you to stop this stuff with the survey. It's nothing more than a convoluted attempt to deliver to one specific developer, and that's a really bad precedent to set. But certainly don't go with the questions that they've got stated there now, because they're really, really one-sided. Thank you for your time.